But yeah, I did a little bit of time in ops. I actually learned a little bit about planning and training and that kind of thing. But then I finally made it back to teams, and it was absolutely amazing. Again, Connor Matthews, he was on one of our teams, and it was just really cool to see him there, along with a lot of the other guys that were students of mine in the pipelines. But really quickly on Connor, like, this is a guy that, made it through the pipeline, crushed it, got to a team, crushing on team. Like, everything he did, he was good at. And I remember talking to him in the gym one day, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna separate, and I'm gonna go for becoming a professional fighter." And a lot of people take that differently. Number one, if you come in and you do this job for 4 years, 6 years, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're deciding to get out at that point, great, man. Like, you definitely sacrifice to come in and do it for that short amount of time. And if you go to decide to do something else, like, all the power to you. How can I help you?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I dare you to try and do that, because once you get in, you see how good it is. Like, you're not going to get rich doing it, but you are going to get so much of an opportunity to complex problem solve, have autonomy, and or do it with autonomy and in trust, and it be like something that you're an operator. So it's like the pinnacle of a lot of people's lives. It's, for me, it was the pinnacle of my life, probably as a staff sergeant, to go and do that. But Connor's like, nope, I'm going to give up everything that is for sure in my life, my paycheck, my job, which I'm crushing, everything. And I'm going to pursue something that I have even less likely chance of being successful in, which is becoming a professional fighter.
Well, I just achieved an almost impossible task by making it here.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is go chase something with even like if there was like a selection rate for guys that started out to become professional fighters and how many make it to the UFC, even worse odds, like way worse odds than.
Yeah.
What a psycho.
Yeah, just shout out to that dude, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, the 2-2 was awesome. It was great. I got to deploy to a couple of different places. It's definitely different than the STSs of my heyday, I guess, when I was an operator, but it's just how it's always going to be. The STSs and special tactics, special operations in general, is going to adapt to whatever the challenge is. And that is one of the fun things about being in this world, is because you never will have two operators who are going to have the exact same experience. You'll never have an operator who's just going to be like, I'm the jump guy, or I'm the dive guy, or I'm the, this guy. And that's the thing he's going to do for the rest of his career, or the thing they're going to do for the rest of their career. It's not like that. You're going to move around, you're going to shoot, you're going to move, you're going to communicate, you're going to do medical stuff, and it's going to be amazing. There's never going to be a time where there's no problems you're solved, or you have solved all the problems.
No. We will create problems if we need something to solve. Like, that's just who we are.
So,
and I know you're talking about it, but like, I harp on this a little bit every time when people are like, oh, like I can't decide between like being controller, PJ, SR, or whatever. Like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, if you stick around, like the amount of combat control stuff I've been able to do, and the courses I've been able to go to, the amount of PJ stuff, like all the medical and everything kind of blends together to create this kind of symbiotic, human. Like, obviously I'm not like a JTAC or combat control expert or a PJ, but like, you get to cross train in a whole bunch of different things, and the breadth of the experience that you get and the training is almost impossible to describe.
Yeah. I've been accused of being a stoj like 1,000 times, because I like saving people, but like, I could tell you without a shadow of doubt, and this could be just reaffirming that I am very glad I'm a combat controller, or I was a combat controller, and a STO now. But man, there's not a bad job.
Yeah,
there's not a bad job. PJs, combat control, SR, TAC P. These are all positions you're going to have to be a complex problem solver. And again, going back to if you want to serve 4 years or 6 years and get out, there's nothing else you could do post college or post high school where you're going to go and do this. You're going to get this level of trust and this experience, and then the world is your oyster.
Yep.
You want to go be a professional fighter. You want to go be a business leader. You want to go be the best at whatever it is you want to go be. Like, you're going to probably have a far greater chance of being successful at that thing, having this as the experience. And then if you try this, I think one of the recent podcasts you guys had, I think someone said, you try this and you're unsuccessful, you have subjected yourself to such a high level of scrutiny, you will walk away better.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna win no matter what.
Yep.
Like, and you're not a bad person if you don't make it through this stuff. Statistically speaking, you've been brave enough, and you've tried something that you knew you probably were gonna fail.
Yeah, just because after the sting wears off, like you've done it before, just like anything else, right? Like once you have experience in anything,
Oh yeah.
then it's easier to do it again. Like you took a huge risk, you put yourself out there, and just because it didn't work out, like the next time a risk comes along or an opportunity with risk involved, you're more likely to be able to jump into that and take advantage of the opportunities presented to you for the rest of your career or life.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I get excited.
Yeah. That's gonna, we'll talk more about this on the pipeline session, but really quickly, my time at 2-2 STS was amazing. After the 2-2, I was not by choice, sent back to Texas, back to ATC, to the schoolhouse, and coming back, and I'll never forget like leaving the, go to the 2-2, and I was like, wow, never going back there again. That's weird. And then driving back to San Antonio, just like, all right. Number one, San Antonio is an awesome place. There's just so many good people and things here. But yeah, coming back, I came back after everything had been dismantled. So INDOC went away, CCSC went away, courses of initial entry, and it completely changed. And that was a hard pill to swallow for me. And so looking into it, initially, like there were certain things that were done with the pipeline, and I was kind of like put into a position where I was gonna be a flight commander for ANS and pre-dive. And over the last 3 years, I can say we've made some adjustments, we've made some changes, and it's never been a more professional, repeatable, fair, and equitable course for individuals wanting to be special or AFSPEC war.
Right.
And the whole SWO EV process, there's different opinions on that. I can tell you that you're 100% in control of the career that you're going to get. Almost like 80% of the people that come in get their first choice.
Right.
And we work with the numbers. We don't have quotas, but we essentially stick to the process, which is why it's fair and equitable, and why if you show up and you perform, you're going to get what you want. However, if you don't get what you want, there's always a chance to cross-train later, or you're going to find out that you didn't actually know what any of these jobs were, and the thing that you ended up with is like the best thing in the world.
Right.
That goes into the whole knowledge is power type thing. Well, too much knowledge is like kind of confusing.
Yeah.
So, when I came in, I had a trifold, and I had a recruiter at least that would admit he doesn't know exactly what we do, but I need to train as much as possible to be ready to go into the pipeline. A suggestion for the people who are going to be coming in or want to come in, pay attention to what's out there, do your research, and then turn your computer off and just go train.
Yeah.
Chop wood, carry water.
I think
like it's, too much information is bad.
There were a lot of advantages to like crossing over to the special operations side and me having no idea really what I was getting into. So there's like this boogeyman, down the hallway, and like it was terrifying. So it's like, what do? You train as much as you can, and you be as fit as you possibly can, and like you got to be ready for every eventuality. And like, yeah, there's a certain amount of anxiety about it, but like that was good. It was that performance anxiety that pushes you. So like, no matter how much you read on the internet or how much you listen to this podcast, just understand there's still a whole bunch of stuff that you're not aware of, and so keep training. Like there's a boogeyman down that hallway ready to get you.
Yeah, pretty much. I think. I mean, Denzel Washington, great quote. Dreams are just dreams, and ultimately they feel disappointment. Or on the road to achieving your dreams, they feel disappointment. Our dreams are just dreams, and without goals, they feel disappointment. Basically, he gets at, you have to be committed to start, but without being consistent, you'll never finish.
Yep.
So you have to be consistent with that. And I feel like, going back to my story for the last time, throughout my career, I was consistent. And if you make it like a reference to like say a coffee cup, you damage a coffee cup, it gets nicked on the edge, it gets cracked here and there. It's not broken. And as long as it's not broken, it's going to hold water. It's going to be able to do the function of the coffee cup.
Yeah.
As individuals, I think that, you're going to get nicked. Like there's no chance you're not going to get nicked. There's no chance. There's nobody that makes it through the life as an operator, especially, and doesn't get nicked. But like, as long as you don't realize that like you're not broken, like you're still going to hold water, you're still going to be able to do the mission, you're still going to be able to get after it in whatever sense that is to you, I guess. So that's, it's kind of like a thing that I discovered in a place that I spent a lot of my time that I don't like, and that's not the gym, that's washing dishes. As a 40-year-old dad trying to do my part. So I think that, you are unbroken. That's something that I've kind of like hinged on. I think that that's a good motto. That's a good mindset to be in. I have a new IG channel or page, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I'm 40, but if you want to
MySpace too,
I have to work on that. But yeah, it's Esposito_unbroken. And it's basically going to be a bunch of things about me, where I'm at right now, things that were in my life, and how it's just an example or a dramatic example of like, how no matter what, I'm unbroken. And I'll have some things on there that show like other people and some of the things that they've been through and how they're unbroken.
Yeah. No. So yeah, go check it out. Esposito_unbroken. And honestly, as we wrap up here, dude, like I remember first meeting you and you telling me your story. So I know you don't like to do it because the first time I heard your story was like, IED. Yeah. Now I'm back and like blah, blah. Like there was very little. And I know like it's not the most fun thing to do is to talk about yourself, but really appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story as in depth as you have. And we're going to have you back to talk about pipeline stuff. I know you really like it when I go out there on like the Instagrams and talk about how y'all should be better. It's fun. And so we can argue about that later. But if you have anything else for everybody out there, any advice or whatever, we always ask for advice at the end. So it feels weird to not ask for advice at the end, even though you just got an hour of goodness, y'all. So stop being selfish.
Advice for anyone out there? Stay thirsty and tune in. We are going to go over the pipeline. We're going to address some of the things in the how to fix the pipeline. But this is a pretty good channel to pay attention to, especially if you're going to be coming in. The information you get on here is going to be inconsistent. It's going to be all over the map, but it's going to be, from the perspectives of the people that come on. And we're staying true to it. It's not like, you're not going to get any misinformation on here. So
we're only pushing my personal agendas, not the other stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, everybody out there, like, subscribe, and Mark, thanks for coming on. Can I call you Mark? Is that okay?
That's cool.
Thanks, brother. Yeah. Later, y'all.